Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some of the most valuable Canadian 1-cent coins that could be hiding in your pocket change or old coin jars. We'll be looking closely at the 1983 and 1990 Canadian pennies to dates that have rare varieties and minting errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Some of these coins have even sold for big money at auction. So if you think all pennies are worthless, think again, these ones could be worth a small fortune. Let's get started. First up, Canada discontinued mint marks on circulating since after 1979 for the Winnipeg Mint, meaning that nearly all regular issue Canadian pennies from the early 1980s have no visible mint mark. So if you have a 1983 Canadian cent and notice it has no W, no P, and no other identifying symbol, that's completely normal. What matters for collectors of the 1983 penny is not a special mint mark variety, but instead the strike quality, overall condition, luster, and whether your coin has survived decades without being handled or circulated. Uncirculated examples can show their brilliance with the copper glow that collectors love, especially if stored safely. Since the year of issue, production totals for the 1983 Canadian cent were fairly high, over 868 -1 coins were minted, so this isn't a key date rarity from a mintage perspective. However, all circulated examples are extremely common and often worth only face value. Uncirculated coins, especially those preserved in brilliant red or red-brown hues, can attract collector attention. It's also important to understand how grading affects the premium. A coin that looks nice to the naked eye may only grade as 050 or MS60, while a truly pristine example with blazing original luster can grade significantly higher, affecting value dramatically. Many people ask about dollar value for this coin, especially if they have what they believe is an uncirculated specimen or a group of around state coins stored in their collection. In the current collector market, an average uncirculated 1983 Canadian cent typically falls in the 50 cents to $3 range, depending on color designation: brown, red, brown, or full red. Higher tier grading such as to can push the value into the $4 to $15 USD category, sometimes more if the coin is exceptionally rare and free of carbon spots. Only extremely high-grade coins such as or better command stronger premiums from advanced collectors or registry set participants. If you happen to own about 40 uncirculated coins from 1983 as part of a hoard or inherited group, the value doesn't simply multiply by the individual price, because collectors often prefer to buy single high-quality coins instead of bulk groups. Still, if each coin is genuinely mint state and free of spotting or discoloration, a lot of 40 coins might bring $20 to $60 if sold as a group, possibly more if several pieces achieve quality. Condition uniformity matters a lot, so buyers will look closely at photos, luster, and copper color before offering a price. Even though the 1983 penny isn't considered a rare coin, collectors do pay attention to die variations, striking sharpness, and the preservation of Elizabeth II's portrait details, such as the hair at the top of the portrait, the sharpness of the lettering, and the clarity of the maple leaf reverse all matter. Copper coins are also extremely sensitive to fingerprints, air exposure, and environmental damage, so uncirculated cents that stayed sealed or untouched for decades can be much more desirable than coins tossed loosely into drawers or plastic bags. This is why collectors emphasize original red color. It indicates stable unaltered copper from the minting year. Now you might be wondering whether uncirculated 1983 Canadian cents are worth sending to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Generally, for this date, certification is only recommended for coins that appear exceptionally high-end toes with near-flawless luster and minimal contact marks. The cost of grading can exceed the coin's value unless the coin grades or higher, so grading is only worthwhile for truly premium pieces. Still, collectors to maintain large groups of mint state coins sometimes send in their best candidates just to complete registry sets or to preserve top quality examples. For new collectors, building a Canadian cent date set, the 1983 coin is an easy piece to obtain, but finding it in high grade can be an enjoyable challenge when purchasing or evaluating one. Look at key features like the flat background, which should remain smooth and reflective without excessive bag marks. Also check the maple leaves on the reverse for crisp edges. Coins that tone into red brown or deep brown can still be desirable, but the highest values always go to full red examples, especially those with strong mint luster. If your coin appears to be uncirculated and you're trying to estimate value from home, a good tip is to compare your coin to verified high-resolution images from grading companies. Check whether your coin has stronger luster or fewer marks than typical examples. If you have that group of around 40 uncirculated pieces, treat them individually when assessing quality. Some might be, while others could be or better. Even within one hoard, quality can vary significantly, and that variation translates directly into value. As we wrap up this deep dive into the 1983 Canadian 1-cent coin without mint mark, remember that numismatics isn't just about finding ultra-rare pieces, it's also about appreciating condition, preservation, and the stories behind everyday coins. If you enjoy exploring this overlooked but interesting year in Canada's penny history, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment about the coins you'd like us to cover next, and whether you have a single shiny 1983 cent or a collection of 40 mint state coins, keep preserving them carefully, because copper coins have a beauty and character that only grows more fascinating. With next up, on the obverse front, you'll see the bust of Queen Elizabeth II wearing the crown of roses, shamrocks, and thistles. The obverse designer is Dora de Pettery Hunt. The legend lettering reads Elizabeth to D. G. Regina. On the reverse back you'll find two maple leaves on a twig designed by G. E. Kruger Gray with 1 CENT199 O Canada inscribed. These design elements are classic for Canadian small cents of that era, but the condition of the coin will affect its value significantly. Now, when we say no mint mark, it's important to clarify the Canadian 1 cent does not always carry a mint mark. In circulation issues for 1990, the standard circulation version had no distinguishing mint mark beyond the date and denomination. The large mintage means many of these coins are out there in circulated condition. What makes a difference is uncirculated status, that is, a coin that has never been used in everyday transactions and retains full mint state luster, minimal or nowhere, an excellent strike. So what is the value of a 1990 Canadian cent uncirculated? According to the price guide at coinsancanada.com, the melt value, i.e. the intrinsic metal value, is roughly CAD 3 cents. However, for a mint state MS example, they list the following approximate values. Meanwhile, the Numismaster NGC price guide lists more conservative values. For example, an uncirculated mint state 1990 may sell for around CAD $2.50 in certain grades, up to perhaps $30 higher grades. As you can see, condition dramatically influences value. There's a big jump between MS64 and MS66 in the first list. Now, if you're thinking that got one of these, maybe it's worth a lot. Caution is important because of the very large mintage and because most coins were circulated. Typical specimens, even in uncirculated condition, will fetch modest premiums over face value. The truly high values MS65 or MS66 require that the coin be extremely sharp with full luster and no marks, or where if your coin has any noticeable hairline spots, discoloration, or imperfections, it will fall into a lower value bracket. So when assessing your coin, check for mint luster, absence of contact marks, clean fields, backgrounds, and a strong strike. If you hold about 50 of these coins, as you mentioned, what can you do? One approach is to inspect each coin to find the best specimens among the lot from your 50 coins. Some may be circulated, others may be uncirculated, and the condition will vary. You might find a handful in brilliant, uncirculated condition. These are the ones with the most potential for higher value. Consider setting aside the top few and possibly getting one or two professionally graded by recognized grading service like Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) or Professional Coin Grading Service (TCGS). Grading adds credibility and can unlock higher resale potential for subscribers and those following a coin value channel. You might want to show visuals. Compare a circulated specimen versus an uncirculated one. Show how luster looks, how mint state surfaces differ. Show what contact marks or bag marks look like, and highlight what coins look like. Also, you can talk about storage, how to keep your coins in uncirculated condition. Use coin flips, avoid PVC materials, keep them away from humidity, etc. For those in Pakistan or South Asia collecting, Canadian coins mention shipping, concerns certification, counterfeit checks, etc. One more thing, while there are error varieties and rare coins in Canadian, since the standard 1990 1 cent doesn't currently appear to have a massively TREMIUM variety, least not widely accepted for the no mint mark circulation coin. Some videos and articles online may claim 1990 penny worth thousands, but you should always approach with caution. For example, there is a YouTube video titled 1990 Canada 1 cent coin worth $1 million rare penny, which is almost certainly sensational. As with all coin claims, check for verifying auction records, credible grading and provenance before getting excited. Yes, you may have a 1990 Canadian 1 cent piece with uncirculated condition that is worth more than face value, but realistic value ranges depend heavily on grade. A typical uncirculated coin might be worth a few dollars CAD. A top piece might reach perhaps tens of dollars CAD or even more depending on beer demand. If you have 50 coins and can find one or two standout specimens, your overall lot might have nice value, but don't assume each coin is a jackpot. Be realistic, do your homework, and be picky about condition. Lastly, call to action for the subscriber audience. If you enjoyed this video or channel post on the 1990 Canadian 1 cent piece, please hit and ring that notification bell so you don't miss future coin value breakdowns. Leave a comment below. If you have one of these coins, tell us the condition, any mint, luster still visible, any bag marks, and I'll try to give you a rough idea of which value bracket your coin may fall into. Also consider joining our collector community for coin swaps, grading tips, and sharing lots like your 50 coin set. Thanks for watching.